Greetings, this is Tymone Green, lead curriculum designer and lead instructor of my virtual online platform, the Green Business Center, in which I specialize in virtual training in QuickBooks, Microsoft Office, and how to start your own home-based bookkeeping business. Now, in this Excel tutorial, I will be showing you how to do a VLookup. Now, the V in VLookup stands for vertical lookup. And what VLookup pretty much does is it looks for a particular value on some other place inside of a spreadsheet, and it returns the value for the information that it searches. So in this example, what we want to do is we want for our transaction report, we have the name of our client that we have done business with, and we have another tab in our spreadsheet that says client states, which lists the customer and the state where that customer is located. So what we want the VLookup function to do here in the state column is whenever it looks for the client name, to affix the state where the client is located. So if we were just to look at this transaction report, we see that Bob's Burger Joint we've done business with, and Bob's Burger Joint is located here in the state of Pennsylvania. So we want the VLookup to look every time it finds Bob's Burger Joint to affix the state where Bob's Burger Joint is located in based upon the client states tab. So that is virtually how VLookup works. So now let me show you how to apply the formula. So to apply the VLookup formula, in Excel, we have the Formulas tab. Then we click on the Insert Function button. And when we click on the Insert Function button, we are presented with the Insert Function dialog box. There we see we have VLookup. So VLookup is selected. But then if your VLookup is not selected when you do this tutorial, then you can just simply type in VLookup here and click on Go. And what Excel is going to do is going to insert the VLookup dialog box. So you select VLookup, you click OK, and now we get our VLookup function arguments. So I will go through what each of these arguments mean. So first we have the lookup value. And what the lookup value simply says is what cell contains the information that we want to search for in another section of the worksheet or in another tab. So in our lookup value, we want to search Bob's Burger Joint as well as all of these other customers. So we just click on the cell for Bob's Burger Joint, which is cell D2 in this example, and we see over here that we are presented with Bob's Burger Joint. Now the table array is the range of data where we're going to be using to get the information to place here in column J for the state. So the table array is listed here under client states. So when we click on client states, Excel is going to place client states as a reference, and then we want to select the range of data. So what we're doing here is we're telling Excel whatever value is listed here in D2, we want to search for the state and place the state in the transaction report for the customer. So we select the range, and we always want to go and place an absolute value because we always want Excel to lock in on this range because we can have multiple customers in other places, but every time Excel finds that customer, it's going to affix the state. So we would just select the range and we would click on the F4 key, which is going to provide us with the absolute value. So what we told Excel in those two steps is whenever here's what we're looking for, Bob's Burger Joint, and we're looking for the state that Bob's Burger Joint is located in from our client states. So that's what the table array is. Now the column index basically says, I'm going to go and erase that, is once Excel goes through and finds Bob's Burger Joint, what state is Bob's Burger Joint going to be located in? So we expect Pennsylvania to go into that cell. So the column index number pretty much is a number that's associated with the column. So column A is the customer, that's the number 1, and column B is the state, that's the number 2. So instead of letters, the column index goes by numbers. So the state is column index number 2. So we go ahead and type 2 into the index number. Now the last part of our VLookup is the range lookup, and what Excel says, it looks for a value in the leftmost column of the table and then returns a value in the same row from a column that you specify. Now in the range lookup, here we see is a logical value to find the closest match in the first column. So it's sorted in ascending order. So true is or omitted, but if we want to find an exact match, it's going to be false. And of course, we want to find an exact match. So the range lookup, we type in false, and notice now we get the result down here, which is Pennsylvania. So when we click OK, there we see Excel is going to affix Pennsylvania. So every time it looks for any one of these clients, we told Excel that when you go through the client states and you find the client, affix the state. So now that we have one, we can drag the formula down, and there we see that the VLookup has placed, for everything that is found, we have an associated state. But then sometimes when you do the VLookup, you may have a non-applicable here, and that simply means that Tony was not found anywhere on our states. So that is the basics of how you do a VLookup. So just remember, VLookup stands for vertical lookup. Basically, that means that all of the data is going to be vertical up and down your screen. And the example that we just demonstrated, we have the client, the transaction report, and we want the VLookup to place the state of the client based upon the client states tag. So that is VLookup in a nutshell. So that concludes this particular Microsoft Excel tutorial. You can always check out my Excel courses on my virtual platform, which is enclosed in the description section to this video. So please feel free to see what courses that I offer. They're pretty reasonable, and you can study at your own pace, and you have lifetime access. So I look forward to providing another Microsoft Excel tutorial in the future. And thanks for viewing, and I look forward to seeing you in my next tutorial.